views expressed on the following program are those of the host, guests, and callers. They do not reflect this network or anybody affiliated with it or whatever. Anyways, folks, welcome to the program. How is everybody doing? It is now February. I still have that tingling feeling. I still have this sinus congestion, but sinus congestion will come with the winter weather. We hope everybody's safe with the winter weather. We hope you are safe. We hope that you're not experiencing any difficulties with the winter weather that we're having, folks. Um, Welcome to the program. And we have a stack of stuff. We're going to do it two ways. I'm going to start reading some of the news, get it out of the way here, and then we're going to go into our chat rooms. And then we're going to Twitch and YouNow and Facebook and all these chat rooms. Hopefully, open up the phone lines so you guys can call in. Hopefully, we'll have intelligent callers this week. Hopefully. Hopefully, something will be intelligent. Someone will be intelligent. Um, and the call screener is not here. Didn't show up. Not here. Couldn't do it. Whatever. So I got to do it myself. So I moved everything over here by me. And if you're watching me on video over here, my right hand side has the phone. My left hand side has the mixer. The microphone's right in front of me, right here. This is the microphone. It is our new. Well, it's not new, but it's different. I chose a different microphone today. Every day I'm going to choose a different microphone, see how they are, pick the one I like, Give our guests the other ones. I like giving the guests the good microphones, and I like taking the troubled ones because then the guests are here better. But we don't have any guests. If you want information about our show, www.brotherwade.com. New website. We have a website kind of engineer kind of guy helping me, which is pretty cool. Got away from the Weebly and Gator and all that other stuff. But we just got to last with what we have up there. And so on forth to the other stuff that we have. And that other stuff is some news and stuff. So let's get into the news right now. For over 80 years, Sidney Poitier has done movies. Here's the article right here in front of me. He's standing here with an honorary Oscar at the 74th Annual Awards in Los Angeles. Rise in the 50s and 60s, parallel growth of the civil rights movement in the U.S. Sidney dies at home at 94. He's a pioneer for black actors. He's a pioneer for the African American films. Unfortunately, he did pass away. He said, I'm an artist man, an American contemporary. I am an awful lot of things, so I wish you would pay me the respect. That's what he said. The unique appeal brought him to same burdens as other pioneers, such as Jackie Robinson, Reverend Martin Luther King. From the black community, Pioneers has held himself to standards well above his white peers. He refused to play villains or cads and took on characters, especially in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, of almost divine goodness. He developed an even but resolved and occasionally humorous persona. He dies at 94. That's kind of bad that we have a pioneer leaving us. In other news, it's okay. Now, when I saw this one, it's okay to let your pets play with their food. This comes in when it comes to feeding time, our pets have it made. Consider how your pet would obtain food in its natural environment. There would likely be some combination of stalking, chasing, grabbing, catching, hiding, stacking, tearing, and dismembering. Oh my, can't picture the dog doing that. You can picture our cat doing that. The observation tells us a lot. We can provide more fun and fulfilling life for our pets. To improve your pet's well-being, fill the empty toilet paper roll with food and trap it inside. Here's another one. Sprinkling some dry pet food and old towel and rolling it up before you give it to your pet to eat. Hide food under your cups and boxes and see how long it takes them to get it. These are interesting tips for your pet. While we recommended should be used for non-food aggressive pets, exercise extreme caution. And it goes on to tell us how our pets play with their food, how they eat, what to do, nutrition. That was just an interesting article in there. Let's go to another article here. We have jobless rates fall to 3.9%. We might be talking about this. GM's launch for all electric pickups. There's another one. Why was doomed from the start? GM's EVI. There's some other things about electric cars and stuff here, but the jobless rate also goes into the auto industry, of the auto industry laying off and making people almost homeless. Struggle for jobs also rose sharply in December. The drop in the jobless rate from 4.29% in November hiked in December with a 4.0%, and now it's evenly out here in January. I don't understand the jobless rate falls. I don't understand how it goes into the GM and electric pickups and all of this other stuff. There's some other stuff about cars, and it's all talking about jobless rates and how these car companies are hiring. Folks, I don't know nothing about getting a job in a car factory. I don't know nothing about working in a car factory, but I just think it's pretty interesting that the paper, our local Times Tribune, it comes out of the Pennsylvania area and also our local area here, has stuff about jobless rates falling and cars making electric cars. It's kind of interesting. As I read on here, it's talking about GM and some other companies producing cars, failing at the electric industry, and now there's the electric cars we have. Now they're trying to get into electric pickup trucks. They're trying to get into electric buses and other things here. And I know the news is kind of rough. I know I'm kind of rough telling you the news, but I want to get the news out of the way because in just a few moments we're going to open up our YouNow, our Facebook, and our Twitch chat rooms, and we're going to have our chat community come in here and talk. So I want to get some of the top stories out of the way here. Bridges and truck driving, and something is going on. Regional railroads have redone some bridges. There's a new state ordinance, and the title of the article says, "Officer, I didn't see the sign." Now, it's talking about a tractor trailer. Shows a tractor trailer, shows another moving vehicle. It talks about a fire truck. Railroads are responsible for their bridges. And we have some railroad bridges here in our area that unfortunately went to the wayside of this stuff. Now, some of the other stuff it's talking about in here in transportation. This is a whole business section of nothing but transportation. And in the middle of this wonderful business section, they had about Sydney dying at 94, which is a tragedy. We don't like to see anybody die. We don't like to see actors and pioneers and people that started different areas of our film industry like that, or any industry for that matter. But it's kind of funny. They have bridges here and trucks being trying to do engineering, and they have the engineering of the cars with the job things here. And then it goes into some railroad stories about how the railroad's hiring. It's kind of funny, isn't it? A whole section of nothing but talking about industry and engineering and new stuff, and then we have jobs and everything else being talked about. It's kind of funny how they have it all in this paper here. It's really weird. And here we go to another part of this health is pit bulls top the bite list. And they have some other dogs on here: Chihuahuas, German Shepherds, Yorkies. I don't believe them. I don't believe the pit bulls do. I don't believe they top the list of this biting list. But there's some other information about that in there, and I talked about it before on the program how these people do to dogs and they breed them, and we've had some other stories about dog breeding. I don't understand why they don't put cats on that list. Why is it that cats are not on the list? Why isn't it that cats don't bite us and scratch us and harm us? But they'll take big breeds like German Shepherds and Pit Bulls and Chihuahuas and put that. Chihuahua's a little breed, actually. A Yorkie is a little breed. I've seen more bites included in Chihuahuas than I have the Pit Bulls and the German Shepherds. But they're all on this list. This whole list of animals and disgusting laws here in Florida, Texas, California, New York, Ohio, the state of Washington. They all have snake rules now and reptile rules. If you own your reptile, if you own pets dealing with reptiles, you're going to be facing new laws, bird laws. Parrots and different birds of exotic kinds are no longer allowed without some kind of permits, which is okay. That means you can't own little Fifi. We used to have a pet store here, and the bird was named Fifi. And this big parrot, big blue, I think it was a hyacinth macaw, would fly around and create chaos in that place. I remember it very well. But I used to go down there and get pet food and sometimes fish food for the fish. But now you got to have laws and you got to have licenses and certifications and all that stuff. And I think it's okay. I think that that's good. But it's going to demote or depopulate the pet industry because there's some people out there that want to have these pets and can have these pets and do very well with these pets. The licenses are going to make it so that people can't have the pets they want to have. I don't know what my opinion is of that. I think if you're a responsible pet owner, go ahead and have your pet. Go ahead and have what you want to have. Be responsible and take care of it. And that is the other small stack of stuff that I want to get out of the way quick. We can discuss some of the other stuff when we get in our chat room here. We're going to try to get in our chat room. We're going to try to chat. We're going to try to talk. We're going to try to get you involved in this show. Ladies and gentlemen, my phone number is 607-238-3816 if you want to call in. My website's www.brotherwade.com, and my email is cwlawrence01@gmail.com. When we come back, we are opening up the chat rooms, and we're going to have the rest of the program, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
If I stay on the res, I'll be 8 times less likely to drop out of college.
If I stay on the res,
I won't be just another number.
I can learn biology in my native language.
I can use my education to help my people.
If I stay on the res,
I'll be more likely to transfer to a university.
6 times more likely.
If I stay on the res,
There's a 9 in 10 chance I'll finish college.
And I will finish college.
I will learn about the old ways so my culture will live on.
I will make my parents proud.
I'll make my people proud.
Our history will not be forgotten.
If I stay on the res,
I can get a quality education.
At a tribal college. At a tribal college.
If I stay on the res.
if I stay on the res,
If I stay on the res.
Learn more about the 33 tribal colleges and how they're helping Native American people and their reservations. The American Indian College Fund, educating the mind and spirit.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school, I learned that I'm ugly and useless. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. In history, I learned that I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends. In English, I learned that I make people sick. And at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me.
In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid. And in math, I learned that I'm trash.
The only thing I didn't learn in school today?
The only thing I didn't learn today?
The only thing I didn't learn
is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
training in tomorrow's technology in fields like nuclear energy, advanced electronics, computers, and telecommunications. Look no further than today's Navy. You are tomorrow. You are the Navy. Learn that when he pollutes the air and the water, he declares war against nature. American International Pictures presents Frogs, the story of the day nature strikes back. It was bound to happen, but why now? Why did these particular people on that particular island face this particular kind of slithering, slimy terror? See Frogs, starring Ray Milland, Sam Elliott, Joan Van Ark, Adam Rourke, and Judy Pace. Frogs, an American International picture, in color, rated PG. Frogs, today the pond, tomorrow the world.
And we're back. We're back with some music. We're back with some inspirational stuff here. Isn't this great, folks? This is a new way to return to the show, I'll tell you that much. I think it's really great. Here we go. There it goes. Okay, it goes off really quick, but it's a nice way to return. We're trying to try new stuff. I have never had music like this. I've never tried to do music. I've tried to never have a flow in, and I was told, hey, have some bumper flow ins and flow outs. I guess that's what they're called. So that's something new. And we're trying it, and we're doing well. We're doing successfully with it. So we're back now. Real quickly here, Training Hands. Topps will sell its famed sports card businesses to fanatics. in a deal more than a reverter are across the collectibles industry. Topps is selling their business card, sports cards, business, for an undisclosed price to fanatics. The sports brand steadily creating a licensing empire. All of the roughly 350 employees working in Topps Sports and Entertainment Department will move to Fanatics. Topps sells its products in more than 100 countries, with physical operations in 10 countries. Topps' remaining business will include Bosco gum, Bazooka gums here, and gift cards. All new will be called the Bazooka Toes. Those two divisions brought more than $250 million of sales in 2021. Craig Pollock, Secretary Treasurer of the Teamsters Local 220, which represents Topps workers at the factory, and said that the sale will have no effect on the employees. Wonderful. All right, wonderful. Topps being traded off to Fanatics. That is in the news here that I wanted to get off my chest real quick. We can talk about that maybe in the chat room or so. We got some other things to talk about in the chat room. Road Salt Works, safety in vehicle bill, included in all parks and recreation departments, not including all the parks for funding. We got a lot of stuff to talk about in our chat rooms, and we're going to open them up. We're going to open them up and see who wants to be who, and what wants to be what, and where they want to be. But, anyways, our YouNow chat room, you can go to younow.com and see us there. You can go up on Facebook and see us. You can go to twitch.com and see us. We have a chat room. Our phone number, 607-238-3816. Let's welcome these chat rooms in here. Let's welcome these people here. Let's see if they even come into our chat rooms. Our email, CWLAWRENCE, 01@gmail.com. www.brotherwade.com is my website. It's a new website. We're growing it. We got some of the old stuff left up there. We got to get some of the new stuff in there. But we're doing okay. We're doing okay with it. And I got a gentleman helping me with it. And I got a gentleman helping us with it. And I got a gentleman helping to do the things. So it's going to be even better. And as I start opening up these chat rooms and opening up these things and seeing these people here, nobody's coming into the chat rooms. I don't even know if I have it right. I don't even know if it's working right. I don't know if it's doing it right. I don't know what's going on. I really don't, because YouNow is new to me. So we're going to try our very best to do our best here. And we're going to try to get this show up and going. We've had 3 other shows when I've been sick. We've uploaded them to YouTube, so you can listen to it. This is show number 84, I think. Yep, podcast, Brother Wade podcast, number 84. Good, number 84 coming into February, into the new year. This means I've almost had 85 podcasts. When I get up to 100, I'm going to have a really good show, I guess. But my viewers, I'm trying to get more viewers to my YouTube. I'm trying to get more people up to the YouTube. I'm trying to get more things up there. And that's how we're going to try to do it. We're going to try to get more things going and more things happening. And try very hard to get what we need up there. But I don't know. I don't know how it's going to happen if people don't want to help me. That's the biggest thing, folks. If you're listening to me in the chat rooms, help me get this show being good. Help me to share it. Share it with your friends. Tell your friends about the show. Come in and watch me every week. We're going to try to do this every week at a certain time, a certain avenue, a certain way, a certain place for it. We just haven't decided that yet based on a schedule. And we're trying. We're trying to get ourselves out and running and up and doing and all of that stuff. And we're trying to do it in a graceful, peaceful manner. But it's not always working. It's not always what we need it to be. And I know my mic's going in and out for some reason. I don't know why that is. But anyways, these technical difficulties will happen. But the phone is set up. We have the phone set up. I'm going to try it right now. I'm going to see if the phone is... Yep, see? The phone is operating. It's on. It's just not doing something right, I guess. I don't know what's going on with it. But anyways, the phone is working. You just heard it. The phone is on. 607-238-3816. Our chat rooms are very low. Nobody's in our chat rooms yet. We're going to try to see if people want to come in our chat rooms and talk. It's an experiment. It's something that if it doesn't go well, then we have things to talk about today. And if it doesn't go well, then that's not my problem. That's not the Levels problem here. That we need to get things going. We need to get to that level. And a lot of people need to help me get to that level. Share my shows, share my content with your friends and your family and even your enemies. Go tell your enemies about me. Get anybody in here that can get in here. So that's where we stand. Anyways, we're going to move on because I got something out. Interest rates may rise soon. Comes to us from another newspaper. And the interest rates are here. They reflect credit cards and other stuff. The labor market was very right. It continues on. The Fed has about $8.8 trillion in balance. The probability that, and it goes on and on. Anyways, I don't really understand all this technical jargon. Maybe you do. I thought I would be able to read it on the air. Maybe I can't. Anyways, the interest rates are going to go up. $8.8 trillion in balances on it. Interest rates are going to spike. I cough again. I don't care on the air. 3% higher. My interest in my credit cards. I apologize, folks, but I thought that was going to be easy to read. Simple thing of interest rates rising up, and it's hard to read on the air. Okay? And as I pause, I am suffering a cold here. All right, Toyota, this is going to be a lot easier to read because it deals with cars again, just like earlier. Toyota Motor Company sold more cars and trucks last year in the United States than General Motors, the first year in a record history. The victory for Toyota comes in a strange year for the industry, in addition to the shortage of workers. And it goes into other things due to the pandemic-related issues. 13 million new vehicles in 2021, according to estimates by Cox Automotive firm. Tracks the industries at 2.3% more in 2020. The short of 17 million vehicles the industry typically and before the pandemic held. Toyota started selling cars in the United States in 1965 and started production at its first U.S. plant in Georgetown, Kentucky in 1988, building of the reputation for quality as GM, Ford, and Chrysler struggled. And it goes on to tell about GM Motors, the trucks, how it does number one. Well, that's kind of funny because the interest rates are going up, so if you're going to get a vehicle, now might be the time to do it. But that's superior because we also know that Toyota and GM and Ford are all working on electric cars. Toyota has done very well in other standings next to GM, General Motors. So it's kind of impressive to see them coming out in top in 2021 and 2020. It's great to see them at top. I'm not a Ford guy. I'm not a Chevy guy. I'm not a General Motors is okay. General Motors and Caterpillar and stuff made diesel engines, and I'm more familiar with that stuff in trucks and buses than I am in the cars, the vehicle end, the personal vehicle end of it. So that's wonderful that they are coming out in that line, and that is what am I trying to say? That is absolutely spectacular, might be the word, in the auto industry. And I just said that it's a number one. They just can't be beat this year. And we're going into 2022, so that means they're going into the year absolutely wonderful. And that is great for the companies. I think that Ford and General Motors and Chrysler, they should get Chevrolet and Volvo and all these other car companies should get themselves to that level too. And we could have excellent cars. We could have excellent things going on. And I think it's something that we could look forward to, having excellent motor vehicles here in America. I think it's excellent that we could move in that direction. If you want to talk about this, our phone number is 607-238-3816. Our chat rooms are not filling up. They're not filling up. I don't know what the problem is this week. I just don't. I'm going to probably get out of the chat room and then get back into it. And I said before that I wanted to get our callers. We took a little break, and now that we're coming off the break, I would like to see us have more of these chatters in our chat rooms. Our chat rooms are just as important as our callers and our other programs here. And it means a lot to me that fans and friends and sometimes family stops in and sees us in these shows. And in between these pauses, I am coughing, so I may get some cough medicine on our next break. But the cold is still here. The sinus pressure is still here. The tingly feeling in my body has gone away, but it will come back. I assume it will come back. And what else do we have in this stack of stuff? World's oil producers can't keep up with the demand. That's another one. It is not exactly turning out the way oil producers are finding it harder than expected to ramp up oil output. Production in the United States, the world's largest oil producer, which is very surprising to me, has also been slow to recover from the 1 billion pollutant in 2020. It's Rello Day. And it's companies and investors wary on committing money to climate change, controversial and violent prices. The concerns of the prices and environmental problems, and it goes on and on here. Oil is out for demand. Well, it's not out in demand that these cars are getting better. We're seeing Toyota doing better, so they must be doing something with the oil, because it's manufacturing on the cars. Now, I read these articles as I get them, and I'm not very good at doing the news. I'm not very good at reading the articles, but I wish we had a chat room here and somebody to call in and discuss this stuff. But I'm getting this stuff out of the way, the kind of the top of the pile, because I have some other issues I want to discuss heavily today, including buses and transportation issues. We discussed the trains and the bridges earlier a little bit. But that's on my mind, is the transportation article over there, which I will get to. I'm going to get to it. I'm also reading with a cold. I'm reading with a slight headache, so my eyes are not working too well. And some of these articles, I have outlined different proportions of them, and that's what I'm reading. I don't read the entire article anymore. I used to go on and on and on and read the entire article. I don't. And a lot of what I find in the newspaper when I come up here, I find that the show is about something else or another topic comes up, and we never get to these articles. So I have split the stack of stuff in half. There's some other emails in here talking about how bad my show is. Some emails suggesting good stuff in here. If you want to write me an email, here goes my email again for you. CWLAWRENCE01@gmail.com. My website, www.brotherwade.com. My phone number is 607-238-3816. If you disagree with Toyota, if you think the oil production is not doing well, or if you have any comments on our other stories, get in the chat room or call us. If you're listening to us live, we do these live in the chat room. If you're listening to our archives, if you happen to be up on the YouTube archives, We broadcast every week. It's random right now. We're trying to get a day. It's been Tuesdays. It's been on Tuesdays, except when I was sick and I had to do it over the weekend to make up for it. It has been on Tuesdays, so I think Tuesday is going to be the day that we do our broadcast. I'm not sure. I used to do them on Mondays, but Mondays is a day for Dungeons and Dragons. Because some of our Dungeons and Dragons games go, well, we've been playing Palladium and Rifts and Heroes Unlimited, but they go, almost to midnight. And, this show is only a 3-hour show. We have a 2-hour slot. I've been cutting it at about 2 hours and 30 minutes because I think we could get everything in there. But I try to do well. I try to make sure that this show is well. I try to make sure this show makes sense to you. I try to make sure the show has what you want in it. And if you hear me pausing or stepping away from the microphone again, it's because I'm coughing. This coughing fit starts every time I start talking a lot. I just can't clear it up. I just can't get it off. I just can't get it cleared and onto something else. Anyways, my earphones keep going in and out too, and my Facebook audience is joining us now, and the Facebook audience might be more than the YouNow audience. I don't know, but anyways, we're going to try to make it work. We're going to try to get stuff for you. Maybe I should take a break now. Maybe I should take another break. Matter of fact, why don't we, since the phone lines are blinking, so that means somebody's trying to call us. Hopefully, they are smart people. Hopefully, they're not dumb. I have 4 blinking lights over here. So let's get to these callers. Let's go to the first caller. Caller, welcome to the program. Okay, caller, are you there? I hear somebody. I hear some noises. Sounds like humming. Sounds like you're humming into the phone. I can hear you humming. Okay. All right, folks. I have no idea what that was over, folks. I'm sorry about that. Sounded like he was humming or making some kind of noise. Maybe he was doing something with his mouth. Maybe he had candy in his mouth, or his mouth was full and he couldn't talk quick enough. I don't know what the guy's problem was, but I could hear it in my headphones. Maybe you can't hear it, but I could hear it very plain, and I don't know. I really don't know what to say about that. I don't know. And as usual, we'll just, I guess, go to the next caller. Caller, hello.
Hello, asshole.
Hello, how are you?
Never elected Norman. You hated him, didn't you?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know who that was. Okay. Thanks for calling me an a-hole. Thank you for not making any sense. We're just going to ignore these callers, folks, because I don't know what's on their mind. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what kind of a point they're trying to solve doing what they're doing. So let's just continue. The next one, caller, hello.
I'm neither on your side nor against it. I enjoy listening to everybody calling in. Concerned.
About what?
Well,
what are you concerned about?
About the advertising.
Okay, I don't think I'm going to talk to you. I don't think talking about my advertising, I have a feeling that you're going to go in a direction I don't want you to go in. My listeners don't need to hear it. This is another call, folks. This is another problem. And this caller seems to want to, you're going to complain about advertising, you're going to complain about me, you're going to complain about what I do on my program. Write me an email, CWLAWRENCE01@gmail.com, or go to my website, www.brotherwade.com, and file a complaint there. Don't come up here and talk about it. I don't need to hear it. My listeners don't need to hear it. Anyways, let's go to the next caller, I suppose. I mean, we're getting through these calls real quick. Which one should I pick? I just pick this one. Caller, hello. I don't know what that was over. That caller just hung up on me. Like I said, we're going through these calls real quick today. These people are talking nonsense. They're talking about nonsense. They're not talking about anything that I want to hear. And in that case, they just hung up. So let's go to the next caller. Caller, hello. Hello, caller. All I hear is talking in the background. Hello? Okay, well, you don't want to get up on the phone. You don't want to talk to me. So, like I said, going through the callers quick. And we have another lighting up one. One's been lit up here for some time. Let's go to the one that's been waiting for a little bit. Caller, hello.
Man, I'll be a prostitute having oral sex with my mouth, licking me in balls.
Okay, that's inappropriate, and I'm cutting you off. You were on hold for a little while, and you're going to say that to me? I mean, what? That doesn't make any sense, but like I said, we're not going to talk about sex. We're not going to talk about anything. I don't know why you're talking about licking balls. I don't know why you're talking about this stuff. I don't know why you're coming up on my show and talking about it. Go to somebody else's show and talk about that. That's disgusting. I don't know what are you thinking? Oh, I just don't get it, folks. I just don't. I have one more line to go through. One more line. It's blinking. Let's see if it's an intelligent caller. Caller, hello. Welcome to the program. Hello, Phyllis. What's been going on with you, Phyllis? How you been?
I hurt myself so bad when I fell and it hurt. Oh no, I gotta be more careful.
Yes, you should be more careful, Phyllis. What made you fall down?
I tripped over my own foot and I fell on a booze and I fell on the floor.
Oh dear. Did your daughter come over and help you?
No, nobody did. I had to get up on my own and I had to get up on my feet. And then I walked down, I walked down, I walked down.
Oh dear.
I was getting sleepy in my old age and
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah.
Yes, the nurse could put me on a new medicine, and you won't put me on a new medicine.
No, he put you on a new. What did he put you on a new medicine for? Phyllis, are you there? I think we lost Phyllis. Phyllis, hello. All right, Phyllis disconnected or she hung up. I'm not sure which. I'm not sure which one happened, but we lost her. Anyways, that was an almost good call. Phyllis calls in every week. She's an elderly woman, and we don't mind having her call in. And from what I just got is that she had a fall this week, and possibly her doctor tried putting her on new medication. I hope she's all right. I really do. I don't like to see any elderly person fall down or have complications due to their medicine. I'm not too sure what to do about it. I'm not too sure how to help Phyllis. But at least she calls in, or she tries to, anyways. And I'm not happy that things aren't going good for her. But I'm glad to see she's still calling in. And I'm glad to see that we actually had an intelligent caller. Somebody with intelligence actually called in. So, I hope she's all right. I really do. I worry about that old woman sometimes. But that's the way it goes sometimes. That's the way it goes sometimes. And it looks like we're ready for a break. Hopefully after this break, we'll get people from the chat room to interact with the show, because there is some people here in our chat rooms. There's some people on Facebook, Twitch, and you now. Maybe they'll call in. Maybe they're intelligent. Are you intelligent, everybody? I hope they're intelligent. I hope Phyllis is not the only person that was intelligent that calls in or has something to do with our program. I like to see and engage with people that then can talk to me and could come up with subjects that mean something other than the foolishness we just heard. Everybody but Phyllis, we just heard, was foolish. Now, I know probably some of these are in our chat room. I realize that. But there's got to be intelligent people in our chat room. There's got to be people that have opinions about what I just read, the news I just talked about, the things that are going on in the world. Something, folks. Something other than this nonsense. And guess what time it is again? It is that time for us to take a break. It is that time for us to go and maybe get some more coffee for myself or soda or whatever I want to get. And it's your turn to try to call in. 607-238-3816 is the phone number. My email, cwlawrence01@gmail.com. My website, www.brotherwade.com. Folks, we'll be right back.
If I stay on the res, I'll be 8 times less likely to drop out of college.
If I stay on the res.
I won't be just another number.
I can learn biology in my native language.
I can use my education to help my people.
If I stay on the res.
I'll be more likely to transfer to a university.
6 times more likely.
If I stay on the res.
There's a 9 in 10 chance I'll finish college.
And I will finish college.
I will learn about the old ways so my culture will live on.
I will make my parents proud.
I'll make my people proud.
Our history will not be forgotten.
If I stay on the res.
I can get a quality education.
At a tribal college. At a tribal college.
If I stay on the res.
If I stay on the res.
If I stay on the res.
Learn more about the 33 tribal colleges and how they're helping Native American people and their reservations. The American Indian College Fund, educating the mind and spirit.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school, I learned that I'm ugly and useless. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. In history, I learned that I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends. In English, I learned that I make people sick. And at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me.
In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid. And in math, I learned that I'm trash.
The only thing I didn't learn in school today
The only thing I didn't learn today
The only thing I didn't learn
is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
Training in tomorrow's technology in fields like nuclear energy, advanced advanced electronics, computers, and telecommunications, look no further than today's Navy.
Learn that when he pollutes the air and the water, he declares war against nature. American International Pictures presents Frogs, the story of the day nature strikes back. It was bound to happen, but why now? Why did these particular people on that particular island face this particular kind of slithering, slimy terror? See Frogs, starring Ray Milland, Sam Elliott, Joan Van Ark, Adam Rourke, and Judy Pace. Frogs, an American International picture, in color, rated PG. Frogs, today the pond, tomorrow the world.
I am broadcasting live right now on Facebook, coming off the break. We are gone through some news, we've gone through some other things, and everybody is wondering what's going on with me here. My cold, from the YouNow chat room, somebody asked if I'm over my cold. I don't know if I'm over the cold or not. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know if I'm over it or not. And yes, I'm smoking because I want to. A lot of people on YouNow are having issues with me, and I don't understand why they're having these issues. I don't understand what is making these things so terrible, so horrible, so menacing, if you will, on it. But anyways, we are here. We are live, and coming off the break. Now, the break went a little bit longer than normal. Maybe it did. I don't know. But coming on to the break, coming off of the small ads that I have. Now, a lot of people want to know what's going on. They want to know who is in control of the show. I'm in control of the show. I'm in control of it. I have it. I deal with it. I do the stuff. But that's just the way people are, I suppose. And you can pause me from coughing, or you can pause me from smoking, or whatever you pause. Whatever the pauses are for, they're here. And I don't understand what is making the YouNow thing from not, it's just not doing well. It's not, something is not going right. It's, I don't know. Anyways, I'm not going to worry about it because I know a lot of people are going to be coming into the chat room. I know a lot of people want to call in. So cwlawrence01@gmail.com is my email. My phone number is 607-238-3816. And it is what you want to hear and what you want to see. It's our show, and we're live. And I am live right now on YouNow. So I don't know if anybody's going to be coming in. But anyways, again, the phone number, 607-238-3816, if you want to be part of the program. Earlier, we were talking about Toyota and GM and cars. And on the break, somebody sent me an email telling me that Toyota is not number one, that they are not the number one dealings. They're not number one. They're not the number one car out there. Well, this newspaper ad that I just read said they were, and that's why I read it. I read it right from the ad. They're telling me that GM right now is number one. Well, GM is number whatever. It's number two, whatever it is. And it was in the ad that they're doing well, too. So I don't see where they're not doing well. But what I'm saying to you folks is that I'm reading the paper. Now, I have my stack of stuff right over here. The stack of stuff is right here. right next to me is my stack of stuff. So, the stack of stuff is what I read from. The stack of stuff is what I have it from. The stack of stuff is what I get it from. So what I'm going to do is hold up my stack of stuff so everybody can see it. Now, we have road saw does damage. We can read about that. We can read about the park study that is taking public parks, and they're not including them in some kind of money. They're not giving money to public parks. They're leaving out public parks. They're leaving out national parks. They're leaving out local parks. They're leaving out parks that people have enjoy. They leave out the people that enjoy these parks. And it's right here. COVID-19 pandemic has caused an array of cultural shifts, from changing millions of Americans' view to work to reoccurring them with the great outdoors. National and local parks spared among the pandemic. Park access and outdoor recreation largely have been a success story in recent years. Remains uneven and deprived the county and governments in a perfect vehicle to further improve park quality. Now, I realize our parks are desperate. I realize our parks are in need of some kind of functioning money and functioning rapport and functioning, what do you call it? Somebody to help them, somebody to give them support, somebody to give them what they need. And I realize this. However, that story and two of these other stories about public parks, safety first in our parks, and it talks about COVID, and it talks about how our public parks are not safe. The playgrounds are not safe for children. The playgrounds are not safe for people to use. And as I cough and as I do that other stuff, that's why there's pauses. Because I don't want you seeing me cough. I don't want to see you seeing me deprived and upset and coughing all this time. So these long pauses of desperate for me to cough. And I have to cough, and I have to have this cold. The sinuses, the tingling in the body is the only things left of this mysterious sickness that I have talked about for the last week. Go up on my TikTok, you can go up on my YouTube, you can go up on everything to see it happening. We got a letter here from one of the viewers, left me a note telling me that I'm doing well, telling me that I'm getting better, telling me that I need to get better. So here it is, folks. If you want to be a part of the program, the phone is right here. You can call me, 607-238-3816. Also, CWLAWRENCE01@gmail.com is my email, www.brotherwade.com. And I'm putting my headphones back on to see if I'm being heard all right. I don't know if I'm being heard all right in the chat rooms. I don't know if anything is all right in any of these rooms that I'm in or anything that I'm in, because I'm having trouble seeing them. I'm having trouble dealing with them. I'm having trouble with the chat rooms. I wish I had an admin. I wish I had something. Twitch. I just got off Twitch. Forget it. Like I talked about last week, I'm through. Twitch is done. The chat rooms are making fun of me. They're in there to raid me. They're in there to harass me, and it's not funny. YouNow chat room's not harassing me. The YouTube chat room is down. I don't know what it is. So it is an absolute necessity that these parks, as I was saying, let's get back to the parks, are done. Now, a lot of the parks in my area don't have a lot of money. They don't have the money they need to provide for them. They don't have the money they need. They don't have the volunteers. They don't have what they need. And everybody knows, in order to succeed in an outdoor recreational area, you need to have a park. You need to have some kind of money source. And the money's not there. Now, here's the other side of the story, folks. The money is provided by the government through grants, fundraisers. What happens if this money is not being allocated for that reason? And what happens if we are being gypped? What happens if they're lying? Which I don't think they are. I'm not saying they're lying. But what happens if they say they are? What happens if these parks are getting the money they're supposed to? Are getting the money they're supposed to do? Are getting the money that they need, and they're saying they're not, or they're trying to get more money. They're trying to get more stuff from us. That's the parts that I don't think is right. And I don't know how to deal with that. I don't know if people need to go to a board meeting, if people need to go to a functioning fundraiser and say something, or whatever. And these fundraisers that they have for parks and recreations and all of this stuff, let me say these things are just joyous barbecues in the park presented by the people that own the places, okay? They're nothing special. They're nothing great. They're nothing that we need. They're nothing that's associated with something. It's nothing that is done right. Okay? And these parks need it. Now, it's winter time up here where I live. I'm in New York, and it's winter. Skiing is the parks. Cross country, they plow, they try to do something. The playgrounds aren't used. The swimming pools and the hiking trails are not used. So what do they need this money for? Why don't they just have volunteers do it? Or have whatever they do? I don't know. Volunteers at the state park. Our good friend Joe is a member of the volunteers of the state park. He goes there. He looks for stuff. He helps. He helps with trash. He helps with debris removal. I've been there with him. I helped him with some of the work. But is it enough? And can we get everybody to do this? If all the campers, the hikers, the skiers, the people that use the parks, the parents of the kids in the playground, all did their share, we wouldn't have the parks looking like they do. Now, they say they look bad. I don't think they look bad. I wouldn't know a bad park if I saw one. I really wouldn't. So that's my opinion about this article. Now, this article is a national type paper. I get them from everywhere. So, you know, it's basically what their opinion is. And it's nothing stuff, but it's all over this paper. It's all over the news. It's been twice now in our papers about parks and skiing and money. Money is a big thing right now. It's the beginning of the year, and they want their money. These politicians and these politics and stuff, they want the money. The money has to be given. The money has to be there. We need the money. Stop thinking about money, okay? Stop thinking about the money and give us something else. It's another thing that I'm tired of seeing in the paper. I'm tired of seeing in news. COVID and money. Stop it. Stop talking about it. Stop doing it. Stop having it. Stop relating to it. Stop it all. Because it's just a total disaster. And the more you talk about it, the more it's done, the more things that come up. People like myself are going to stop thinking about it. We're going to stop doing it. We're going to stop advocating for it. We're going to stop relaying to it. All right, folks, if you're watching us in our chat rooms, how this works, somebody's asking me why I'm not paying attention. I'm paying attention. However, I do it on a break. I'll talk to you on a break. The show is ran. You can ask questions, and I'll try to answer them. My website is www.brotherwade.com. My email, cwlawrence01@gmail.com. The phone numbers, if you want to call into the program and be a part of this program, is 607-238-3816. And I'm sitting there dying with this cough, and I don't know what it is. But I'm going to go on another break, and I'm going to take care of this cough, and I'm going to take care of the way my voice sounds. So right now, we're going to go on a break, and we'll be right back.
Mad Max is a lone warrior searching for his destiny, while a tribe of lost children wait for a hero. And in a world battling to survive, they meet a woman determined to rule. Hold out for Mad Max. This is his greatest adventure. Mel Gibson in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, starring Tina Turner, rated PG-13.
Quality limousine service. When in New Jersey, call 201-785-9071.
7 million children suffer from asthma, more than any other chronic disease. Most asthma attacks are caused by allergic reactions to allergens, including those left behind by cockroaches and mice. In fact, 82% of U.S. households contain mouse allergens, and cockroaches are found in up to 98% of urban homes. How can you protect your family? Find out at pestworld.org. A message from the National Pest Management Association and the American College of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology.
You worked too hard, you ate too much, the cheesecake made you greedy. Let your aching head and stomach hear this message from old Speedy. Alka-Seltzer, plop, plop, fizz, fizz, oh, what a relief it is. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz, oh, what a relief it is. Those Speedy bubbles relieve your upset stomach and headache fast. For acid indigestion alone, Alka-Seltzer Gold. Oh, what a relief it is. What a relief.
Learn that when he pollutes the air and the water, he declares war against nature. American International Pictures presents Frogs, the story of the day nature strikes back. It was bound to happen, but why now? Why did these particular people on that particular island face this particular kind of slithering, slimy terror? See Frogs, starring Ray Milland, Sam Elliott, Joan Van Ark, Adam Rourke, and Judy Pace. Frogs, an American International picture, in color, rated PG. Frogs, today the pond, tomorrow the world.
All right, folks, coming off the break, the YouNow audience is getting bigger. Our bigger and better YouNow audience, our Facebook audience, has dwindled down some. Our YouTube audience is no longer, and our Twitch audience is very small tonight as well. I did keep that up there, but just to answer this question, if you want to do advertising on us, you can write to me at my website, or if you are an independent artist, I cannot play copyrighted music. If you're an independent artist, songwriter, I can play your music on my show on my breaks, or we can have you as a guest. I'm always looking for guests. I'm always looking for bringing new people on the program, new content, get to know somebody. www.brotherwade.com is my email. Also, if you want to be a part of the program, my email is cwlawrence01@gmail.com. So, we're going to continue with the show now. And as I was saying, the parks and recreations, we talked about cars being good. Now, the voice of the people, pardon this, when bureaucracy does us more harm than good, and it talks about transportation. And the transportation right now is a key thing. We see a lot of Amtrak and locomotives beginning to have problems, and we now see buses and Greyhounds. In my area of New York, we have a lot of we have Greyhound. But if you live in other bigger cities, you're going to have Amtrak, you're going to have subways, and a lot of this infrastructure is getting demands, and we see a lot of electric engines and buses and new fuel systems for these things, and it's talking about how politics gets involved in this. I don't know how this politics and bureaucracy and the mayors, and the mayor of New York just done a new police chief, I guess. We have some other things in California going on with law enforcement and transportation systems, but it's a good ad, and it talks about a lot of the infrastructure to it. If you have an opinion on this, call into the program, 607-238-3816. Write me an email. I don't know, because I don't take these big, large infrastructures of trains and Amtrak and all that stuff. But it's talking about buying outs and stuff, and it's all probably because of the new year. A lot of this stuff gets on because of the new year. They put new stuff on. They have new policies. They have new people in charge. They have new, I don't know what you call it, managers. They have new policies. They have new, a lot of the new stuff. And because of that, we start to see a structured system. We start to see a system that sometimes is not the best in the world. Now, my transportation system in my area is okay. It's a small little town. It's run by the county, I guess. We have some other ones that are government funded. We have some private small system here, and it's okay. Now, I've taken it. It's not the best. COVID is a big worry now. COVID is a huge thing for the public transportation system, obviously. But this article here talks about what they're doing. It talks about how the infrastructures and the politics and the money and the firing of bus drivers and the unions, and it's getting up. Now, just a few minutes ago, it was talking about how the unemployment rate has gone down. But if they're firing bus drivers, or bus drivers are retiring, in this ad it talks about that a lot of the bus drivers are retiring. A lot of people are getting old and no longer working, and people don't want to take over these jobs. A lot of the jobs that people have are college. You go to college, you get a computer job, or you get something in security, or you get something related to college, and you forget about the regular workers. The workers and the bus drivers, the dump truck drivers, the garbage crews, and all that. And last week there was an article in the paper that I've saved here that talks about the garbage crews not doing well. That they deal with garbage all the time, but COVID is making a huge impact on medical waste. And it's talking about new systems to deal with it, new things to do. It's a pretty interesting thing, but we bring it up now because we have the plows and these snowstorms and stuff, and the lack of supplies for salt. How do we have a lack of supplies of salt if this is the first big snowstorm? I don't get it. I don't get it in my area, how we can't plow the roads, how we can't have the systems plowed, how we can't do this. And there I go pausing again because I'm coughing. And coughing again. This cough is never going to end. The sinuses are never going to end. But anyways, our YouNow chat room's up here. If you want to call into the program and talk about anything, 607-238-3816 is our phone number. cwlawrence01@gmail.com is my email. www.brotherwade.com is my website. And we're putting new stuff up there, and we're having new stuff. And we're trying to get to the point where I can have new stuff. And if you see me without my headphones, it's because I can't stand having my headphones on. I can't stand hearing my own voice in my head. There I go coughing again, and I didn't pause anything. Hearing my own voice in my headphones drives me nuts. It just drives me up a wall. So, we don't do it. Now, somebody's mentioning sports in our chat room. I know Brady retired. I'm not a football fan. I'm more of a hockey guy than I am anything else, but I don't get a lot into sports. But yeah, Brady retired. I guess he played on the Patriots and the Buccaneers, which the Buccaneers, what are they, pirates or something, I suppose? Anyways, back to transportation. It's a structure that we have to have. We have to have it. Changes have to be made. I don't know if changes have to be made to it or not. In reality, I don't think they do. I don't think changes need to be made to our infrastructure. I don't think transportation changes need to be made. Now, routing and all of that stuff, that could change. Bus drivers retiring, keeping the staff, keeping the people, keeping people happy that are working in these fields. I don't know. The unions say they keep them happy. I don't know. I really don't know. My mom was a school bus driver. She was very happy with her job. She was very happy in what she did. She was very happy in the things that she wanted to do. So I don't know. I don't know if that is something that has a lot of impact on this stuff. But the article also went into the maintenance, the vehicles, the technology, keeping up with the stuff that needs to be done. We know for the railroads, they're starting to get electric and hydrogen power. We know in the railroads, they're starting to get mainstream, more commercialized. They're trying to get competitive. They're trying to do it. I don't think the railroads are going to be competitive. I think the freight railroads are competitive maybe if you ship stuff and you're going to choose Union Pacific, Norfolk Southern, Canadian Pacific, Canadian National. We have CXX, which is a big freight company, but for the we have a lot of metro lines. And we have Amtrak. Amtrak is the biggest and only company for transportation. I think they compete with Greyhound. I think land transportation and rail transportation has been competing with each other for years. But the competition is not really there anymore like it used to be. You can jump in your own car and go somewhere. You can take a cab somewhere. You can walk somewhere, ride a bike somewhere. You know, the most of the companies that have these transportation systems are, government funded. They're government run. City buses. The city bus is run by the city. It's run by the county. It's run by a corporation, Central Transportation. The biggest city near me right now is Scranton and Syracuse. In either direction, we have Albany. We have Rochester and Buffalo. Oneonta is a small little town that has a wonderful transportation system. But most of these big companies are run by the city that they're in. They're run by who runs the city. So whatever the city's doing, whoever the city is, whatever programs they have, that's who's running them. Central Transportation, CNTRO, and Ride Plus, RIDE, and it has a plus sign next to it. Ride Plus is another company. These companies run huge buses. They run big firms. They're like Laidlaw, and they're like Greyhound. The other one is American Lines, which runs buses. They're huge in cities, but we don't have them in my area. Syracuse has Central Transportation, and I think that's the only one that runs it. Now, if you go into New York City, you're going to find 4 different companies, including New Jersey Transit, which is a huge, huge company, And it's just, I don't really know what to say about it. I really don't. These companies manage themselves. They do well. They hope to do well. They try to do well. They do well in their own areas. So, again, if you want to talk about this, cwlawrence01@gmail.com. My phone number, if you want to call in the show, 607-238-3816. That is the number if you want to be a part of our program today. And it's coming time for another break. On the breaks, I talk to my chat rooms. On the breaks, we have songs or commercials. If you want to get that stuff, you can go up to my website, www.brotherwade.com. You can have some information about that up there as well. So, folks, we'll be right back.
If I stay on the res, I'll be 8 times less likely to drop out of college.
If I stay on the res,
I won't be just another number.
I can learn biology in my native language.
I can use my education to help my people.
If I stay on the res,
I'll be more likely to transfer to a university.
6 times more likely.
If I stay on the res.
There's a 9 in 10 chance I'll finish college.
and I will finish college.
I will learn about the old ways so my culture will live on.
I will make my parents proud.
I'll make my people proud.
Our history will not be forgotten.
If I stay on the res.
I can get a quality education.
At a tribal college. At a tribal college.
If I stay on the res.
If I stay on the res.
If I stay on the res.
Learn more about the 33 tribal colleges and how they're helping Native American people and their reservations. The American Indian College Fund, educating the mind and spirit.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school, I learned that I'm ugly and useless. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. In history, I learned that I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends. In English, I learned that I make people sick. And at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me.
In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid. And in math, I learned that I'm trash.
The only thing I didn't learn in school today?
The only thing I didn't learn today.
The only thing I didn't learn
is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
Place like
Looking for training in tomorrow's technology in fields like nuclear energy, advanced electronics, computers, and telecommunications? Look no further than today's Navy.
Learn that when he pollutes the air and the water, he declares war against nature. American International Pictures presents Frogs, the story of the day nature strikes back. It was bound to happen, but why now? Why did these particular people on that particular island face this particular kind of slithering, slimy terror? See Frogs, starring Ray Milland, Sam Elliott, Joan Van Ark, Adam Rourke, and Judy Pace. Frogs, an American International picture, in color, rated PG. Frogs, today the pond, tomorrow the world.
And we're coming off the break, and the famous I Love New York, somebody asked about an ad that you hear is probably from the New York City advertising of our state of New York. And it is a advertising technique. It was very successful, by the way. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I put it on there every time. So, we have... Our YouNow chat room is up and running, our Facebook chat room, our Twitch chat room, and I'm trying to answer everybody's question, and I'm trying to answer everybody's problems. I'm trying to solve everybody's problems, so to speak, in our chat rooms. And if you're listening to our archives, we have a chat room on YouNow, we have a chat room on Twix, we have a chat right here on YouTube, and Facebook, and we talk to these people. We also have some of our stuff on TikTok. We talk to you, and we try to get these people involved with what's going on. And a lot of these people get involved, and they want to have themselves involved, and they want to get involved. And getting involved in my thing is easy by calling in the number 607-238-3816 or emailing me at my email, cwlawrence01@gmail.com, going up on my website, www.brotherwade.com. A lot of people on our chat rooms ask questions, they interact with me. You can see me doing the show live. It's a good way to get involved in what's going on. Now, another way to get involved in what's going on is to become my friend on Facebook, perhaps, if you want to do that. I don't know. Maybe some people do, some people don't. It's something that we have going on for us. It's something to better my show, is coming up and talking on the chat rooms and seeing the people and interacting with the people and becoming a broadcaster on these networks. And if you're listening to me for the very first time, this is the Brother Wade program. Maybe you're referred to by a friend. Maybe you're referred to by somebody else. And yes, it's later in the show. We have done already maybe an hour's worth of show. And we've had a few callers early on from our chat rooms, and we had a few callers from the other areas. And we've done some news. I try to get into the news. I try to get in what's going on. We were just talking before the break about transportation. Do you have any opinions on that, folks? Call in. Do you have any opinions about them? Write to me. Let me know your stories of transportation. Let me know your horror stories. Let me know what is happening. Let me know if you have any horror stories, or you've seen any horror stories, or you've been a part of a horror story of the transportation industry. Now, folks, I do end my YouNow chat room very cautiously here. I end it. I don't end it, so to speak. But it's coming up to the time they slot us. They slot us an hour. and I'm trying to get up to the level where I can do more than an hour. So it's kind of within my limits here, and I'm on grace period right now. So if I all of a sudden go off of the chat room, that's why, because it's on a grace period. So if anybody has anything they want to discuss, if anybody has any questions, I'm here to answer those questions for you. Now, going back to what we were talking about earlier about infrastructures and parks and transportation. It is the winter season right now. There are people out there right now who are suffering without electricity. Maybe they're suffering because they're cold. Maybe they're suffering because they don't have the housing we do. I like to think of those people. And if you see them or have problems with them, go and help them. And I realize that somebody mentioned in the chat room that we have people that don't have the right housing adequate. Yes, that's true. And I realize that a lot of the country right now is going through devastation of the winter. We do it in the summer with the hurricanes and the rain. We do it in the winter with the storms. I realize that, yes. So to answer that question, yes, I think of those people. We pray for those people. We wish they were not in that situation. So, dealing with the transportation. I have another article here about COVID and the public safety of health and safety first. It's an article that talks about safety. It talks about having safe public areas that are safe. And my opinion is yes, they're doing everything they can to keep us safe. They're doing everything they can to keep the public transportation safe, to keep public areas safe. But here's the problem. If you have a napkin or gloves, wear them in public. If you have a mask, wear it in public. I'm not one of these that's going to force you to wear a mask. I'm not. I have problems wearing a mask with my breathing. I have relatives and family and friends that have asthma and breathing problems. I understand that. But you don't wear it for yourself. Think of it this way. The person next to you does not need to get sick. They don't need to have problems. They don't need to have the COVID. They don't need to have the virus. They don't need to be given the virus. They don't need to be have problems. So, if whatever you can do to prevent that person from getting sick, do it. Somebody last week asked us about masks. They sent me an email. I didn't read it because we didn't bring up the topic, but I wrote back to them that I agreed with them and that I agree that some of this stuff is lingering and that some of this stuff is out there. And I brought up some of the stuff that it's getting to be a hassle, but it's also getting to be a hassle when people don't want to do it. This article talks about public safety, and in it talks about parks, it talks about public transportation, it talks about hospitals, it talks about hotels, it talks about schools, it talks about public areas, restaurants, and all this stuff. And it's a 3-page article. And it goes into the facts that I have mentioned, that people take off their mask and cough and all of this in restaurants. But all of this stuff, like I said last time when I talked about COVID, it happened long before the COVID ever started. It happened long before that ever started. So, on the break, for the people that ask me questions about being safe and all this stuff, and if I'm sick, yes, I was sick. Yes, I had problems. Yes, I'm doing things to prevent myself from getting sick. I'm doing better things than I was doing before to prevent myself from being sick. But we don't know what it was. We don't know what the sickness was. We don't know what happened. All I know is I tested negative twice on a COVID test. So if I tested negative, apparently I didn't have it. So if I didn't have it, then I had something else. And I'm kind of annoyed that my doctor did not do what he needed to do to get me what I needed, okay, to fight whatever it is. And I still have the congestion. I still have the tingly feeling. I still have the cough. Now, it is winter. It is a season for colds and sinuses and runny noses and coughs. So maybe I have a cold. Maybe I have a cold. I have something that is making me feel the way I do. Maybe it is something that's just here. Maybe it's something that's just there. I don't understand what it would be. I don't understand why it would happen. I don't understand what would make me that way. But this article reminded me of the stuff I was told. I was told, hey, you got to do better in some of this stuff. You got to wear your mask tighter. You got to do this. You got to have a different kind of mask. The doctor didn't like the fact that I had a paper cloth mask that was made for me and all of this other stuff. But you know what? Somebody made it for me, and I'm happy they made it for me, and I wore it for that reason. But now I wear the regular surgical mask. Now I was told they're not going to do it. No mask is going to do it. The germs are going to get through the mask. Okay, but I sanitize my hands. I made sure I wear gloves when I open up doors. I made sure that my clothes are better washed and better cared for. I made sure my where I stand, how many people are around me, being evident of the other people around you and how they feel and their condition. What condition is the other person? Is the other person in a sickly condition? Is the other person in a condition of sickness? Is the other person sick? Are they not feeling well? Are they feeling uneasy? Are they depressed? Are they sick? Are they malnourished? Are they whatever their condition is? And before, I could care less about other people's conditions. Before COVID started, I could care less if somebody had a cold. I could care less. I could really care less about the other people around me. I wasn't aware of them. I wasn't for them. I wasn't trying to dispose myself to them. I was not trying to get myself involved in their problems. Yes, I wanted to make sure they were safe. Yes, if somebody was going through something, I would help them. Now, I'm lacking doing that. I don't want to get help from people. I don't want to help people. I don't want to be readily available for people. I don't want to strive myself. I don't want to program myself. I don't want to be involved in some people because I don't want to be sick. I don't want to get myself to that level. I don't want to, expose myself to something that I'm not sure what it is. Now, they know what the COVID is. The scientists know it. I know they know it. The governments know it. People in the higher-ups, and it might be a conspiracy. I might be talking conspiracies again, but I know they know what they're doing. I know they know what it is. I know what they do. I know who they have. I know how they have it. I know how it's being evolved. They can't say they don't know. And that's a whole nother topic. It's a whole nother thing. It's a whole nother description. It's a whole nother act. It's a whole nother time. It's a whole nother thing. And it's something when we do that. It's something when we do it. It's something that, what's the word for it? Something that I don't know. I don't know what to say, how to say it. It's something to be aware of, or expose yourself to their needs. Expose yourself to something new. Get involved. I'm just going on a tangent right now. I realize that, but still, it is important that it is that way. Also, what I learned from being sick is a big important thing we have now is that the point is that many people don't care. A lot of people don't care about what is going on. They don't care that things are happening. They don't care that somebody else is sick. They don't. The other end of this token, the other side of this is what I'm saying, is that if they don't care about people being sick, if they don't care about you, if they don't care about it, then they have to do something like I did. I have to change my mindset. I have to change what I do, and you have to do these things. Not caring about certain issues, or the person is coughing in line, or the person looks sick, or they act a little differently, and they're not their normal happy-go-lucky self or something. These things we have to get to notice. We have to start noticing stuff. We have to start acting rationally here. I had to start paying attention more. Maybe observant is the word. Being observant. Being, seeing more of what's going on. Being attentive to other people around you and how they're feeling and how they're acting. Before I was, because I didn't want violence. I didn't want weird people acting out around me. Now I have to be observant. I have to be more attentive. I have to pay attention more. Paying attention more to the condition of the person, because I don't want to get sick. I don't think you should get sick. I don't think anybody should get sick. And codes are done differently. Things we do differently to have this stuff, to see this stuff, to focus ourselves with this, whatever it is, virus, conspiracy thing, to end humanity, whatever it is, whatever I caught, whatever made me sick. I don't wish it on anybody else, but maybe it was just a virus. Maybe it's not a virus. Now, they have other strains of this stuff, this thing, this, whatever it is. Whatever it is trying to attack a human being. I don't understand molecular structures. I don't understand viruses. I don't understand how they work. All I know is that they have to have us to live. Well, okay. And I've always said this, whatever it is wants to live in me, as long as it doesn't affect me, my friends, or my family, or my neighbors. I don't care if it lives in me. Who cares? Viruses live in us all the time. Pathogens live in us all the time. Don't affect me, don't affect my friends, my family, or my neighbors. And it could live nice and happy for the rest of its life, as long as it wants to. But if it's going to attack me, make me sick, if it's going to make my family sick, my neighbors, my friends sick, or make us feel uneasy, or do anything to harm us, then I can't live with that. I can't have that living with it. I can't have some microstructured organism doing that. And that's what it is. It's a microstructured, some kind of molecule, organism that's living in us or with us. Okay, folks, if you want to be a part of the program, you can write to me on my email, cwlawrence01@gmail.com. You can call in the phone number, 607-238-3816. You can go on my website, www.brotherwade.com. The people in the chat room here, we have Will Jenks, we have Amy, we have Zael, we have Rena, we have Mary, we have Panda, we had Sidna, we have Ariel, we have Macklin, we have Amanda, we have a few other people. We have our Facebook back open. Facebook finally is working again for me, since all of a sudden it just stops itself for no apparent reason. The phone number is there for you to call. If you're listening to our archives in YouTube, we are trying to pick a day that I can do a show every week, a weekly program. I used to do it, a weekly program every day. We did it on Monday. We were competing with the wrestling shows on TV for which one you wanted to watch. Danny is now joining us. Danny, hi, from YouNow. We have Eric on Facebook now joining us. Eric, hello. Will, hello. And some of the other stuff. Now, my stack of stuff in my newspapers down here. all of this stuff, all of these papers, as we're trying to get to, but I can't get to all of it. I can't seem to get to all of it. And if you hear pauses, or you hear a pause, or see a pause, or any of that stuff, pauses of any kind, it is because I'm either coughing or having a fit here. I'm still not completely well. Now, Michelle joins us. Michelle, welcome to the program. We have a Ray here from YouNow. Welcome to the program. Now, on YouNow, they're becoming fans. On Twitch, I've given up on Twitch. The audience on Twitch is odd tonight. I'm just naming random people as they pop up, because on the bricks is when I pay attention to you in the chat rooms. I don't pay attention to my chat rooms while I'm doing the show. I do, however, pay attention to the chat rooms on our break. But we're not going to take another break. We've already taken like 2 breaks already. And already, we haven't gotten one caller. Nobody's called on this phone. Either that or the phone isn't working. But the phone is working because I tested it earlier. I and my good friend Keith tested it. Phyllis called earlier, by the way, folks, and Phyllis had a good fall. She fell down, which isn't good at all, but, you know, I don't know. A medicine changed or something, she told us. But just so everybody knows that, to kind of make sure that the elderly people stay safe. And as I look at my chat room, so if you're listening to us in archives, I have a chat room. If you're listening to us on YouTube, I have a chat room in YouNow where you can be interactive with me. I have a chat room or a structured thing here on Facebook. And my Facebook audience is very little. I wish I had more of a Facebook audience, but I don't. And I need people. Again, I'm going to say this. Go and tell your family, go and tell your friends, your neighbors about the show. Go and tell everybody about the show. Tell us about it so that you can be a part of it, so that you can come, you can listen, you can be a part of the show, you can interact with us, whatever you want to do. Okay? cwlawrence01@gmail.com is my email. www.brotherwade.com is my website. 607-238-3816 is the phone number if you want to call into the phone. It's right here. Right here is the phone, and it works. Okay? It works. You can call in. You can talk to us. You can tell us a story. Maybe you can stream into the phone. I don't know. Earlier we had some really, really, really weird people. Weird people call in, and it's just amazing. It's just amazing how many odd people we get calling into the program. My YouTube channel has many archives in it. I'm trying to load my YouTube. Also, my YouTube channel has a diary of some sorts with my TikTok on my illness. If you wanted to see it, I did it day by day because I didn't know what was going to happen. I did not know what was going to happen with this illness I had. Now, if you know, a little history on this now, since some people in the chat rooms are asking about it. I got sick. 2 negative, as I said before, 2 negative COVID tests. Negative, meaning I did not have COVID. Now, my doctor said people have positives and negatives and false tests all the time. It's regularly done that way. It's just not told to everybody, but it's regular. So I don't really know if I have any faith in these tests. But I know it wasn't COVID. I know it wasn't something to do with the evil, manipulative virus that we have. Now, I don't even like using the word virus, because a virus to me is a flu. A virus is something you get rid of with antibiotics. I've always gotten antibiotics when I've gotten sick. My doctor did not prescribe any this time. I'm not very happy with it. As I said before, I've said it many times, I'm not happy with it. We just talked about it for a few minutes here. I'm not happy with it. But I don't know what to do. I don't know what I can do. I don't know what it is. Now, my biggest fear is this. My biggest fear is that I get something, like an actual, real medical problem. And because of COVID, it's not treated properly. And then I get sicker or something happens. And it's not even COVID related. But because COVID's out there, they're not doing 100% on this stuff. A lot of it they want to call COVID. A lot of it they want to take disciplined shortcuts. Okay, disciplined shortcuts. They want to take disciplined shortcuts. And what I mean by that is they want to take shortcuts. They want to do the virus, and they want to take shortcuts. And they want to not do 100% of their job. So they miss stuff, and they don't diagnose stuff properly. And ever since COVID started, they've been doing this. So that's my biggest fear, is that I'll catch something, or something will happen to me medically that's really, really bad. And I don't want that to happen. So I want to be treated and diagnosed properly. I want to have the proper diagnosis and the problem solved that is supposed to be solved, and not fall short, or not become whatever you want to call it, and have the problem that exists, whatever it is. And I know we're coming to a short break. We're coming to a break. I got to take a break. I got to. So, folks, www.brotherwade.com is my website. cwlawrence01@gmail.com is my email. The phone number is 607-238-3816 if you want to be a part of the program. Folks, I got to take a break. We'll be right back.
You are the hope. You are the promise. You are tomorrow. You are the Navy. If you're looking for training in tomorrow's technology in fields like nuclear energy, advanced electronics, computers, and telecommunications, look no further than today's Navy. You are tomorrow.
Mad Max is a lone warrior searching for his destiny, while a tribe of lost children wait for a hero. And in a world battling to survive, they meet a woman determined to rule. Hold out for Mad Max. This is his greatest adventure. Mel Gibson in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, starring Tina Turner, rated PG-13.
7 million children suffer from asthma, more than any other chronic disease. Most asthma attacks are caused by allergic reactions to allergens, including those left behind by cockroaches and mice. In fact, 82% of U.S. households contain mouse allergens, and cockroaches are found in up to 98% of urban homes. How can you protect your family? Find out at pestworld.org. A message from the National Pest Management Association and the American College of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology.
Quality Limousine Service. When in New Jersey, call 201-785-9071.
And there's no place like it.
When in New York, call 212-226-7665.
American International Pictures presents Frogs, the story of the day nature strikes back. It was bound to happen, but why now? Why did these particular people on that particular island face this particular kind of slithering, slimy terror? See Frogs, starring Ray Milland, Sam Elliott, Joan Van Ark, Adam Rourke, and Judy Pace. Frogs, an American International picture, in color, rated PG. Frogs, today the pond, tomorrow the world.
All right, folks, we're back from the break, taking this one step further than we need, talking about other stuff. Now, in the discussion, I just skipped a whole bunch of other stuff in the ad bundle here. Now, when I do these bundles and stack of stuff and all that stuff, I try to include stories that you guys would love. And one of these stories is frequent cravings, chocolate and food and all these other things. Dieting. It talks about how dieting doesn't work. It talks about how to structure the cravings. It talks about how to get rid of cravings. It talks about how to get rid of food. Cravings of chocolate and how to diet, and it's I don't know if it would help. I don't know if it would do better, maybe. I don't know if it would do something, what's the word, appetizingly satisfying to you and all that other stuff in here, but it talks about dieting, and I just thought of this really quick. Being healthy and being the first of the year, and everybody wants to make resolutions and all this stuff, dieting and healthy stuff and all that stuff, it doesn't tell me anything about how to stay on a diet. It just talks about the diets and the risk of dieting. People don't realize that when you diet, you're not getting the right nutrients. You're putting yourself off a system. You're putting yourself on a, what do you call it? A structured kind of environment. And a lot of people don't realize that putting yourself on this structured environment and taking yourself off a regular, disciplined thing, it's almost I don't know what you want to call it. It's almost harmful. It's almost disgraceful for your system to do it. It says in there, in the ad here, it says that you're supposed to take your time. You're supposed to try things. If they don't work, don't do them. Have you talk to your doctor, know your body, know what kind of limits you can have. Like for me, I couldn't go without a lot of food. I couldn't go without a lot of nutrients. I'm a big structured person. My body, my structure, the way I am, the way I feel, the way I do things. I can't all of a sudden just stop eating or go to eating salads only or get rid of something in my diet without having severe consequences, and it talks about that. So not only are you staying healthy by watching yourself and changing yourself and not being sick, but you're also being healthy by trying to do well, trying to make sure your body does well, make sure your body does what it's supposed to do. And a lot of people don't realize that by doing that, you're being more healthy. Because I've tried 2 diets. I don't talk about them, but I tried them. The Slim Fast stuff where you drink every day. I just got addicted to the shakes and loved it. When I was in high school, we used to drink the shakes to put on weight, to put on muscle, to supplement the food and the protein in our body that we need. And it was a safe alternative back then. Now, this stuff of drinking stuff and milkshakes and all these smoothies and these wonderful things has become very limited, very ousting, if you will, very alternative. But this ad goes into some of the safety risk of the dieting. And I'm happy to see that this ad is in the paper because people will see it. People will know what it's like to diet, what it's like not to diet, what it's like to have these things happen. Because when you diet, you change your body. When you diet, you change the structure of your food intake, and your body's going to react. It's going to suffer. It's going to have reactions. Now, a lot of people don't realize that these reactions sometimes are not good. They're not okay. They're not something that your body wants. Now, eating a lot of sugars, eating a lot of meats, eating a lot of stuff to make you overweight, to make you unhealthy is not good either. I eat for a protein intake. I eat to nourish myself. I eat to focus on myself. I eat to have myself better. That's what I do. And I thought somebody was just on the line just now, and I pressed it. Nobody's there, so maybe they hung up. If you did hang up, please call back. Anyways. Our chat room's here. Anyways, real quick plug here. 607-238-3816 is my phone number. cwlawrence01@gmail.com is my email. www.brotherwade.com is my website. Okay, so back to dieting. There's different diets. There's different things to do. There goes my phone again. It's not blinking, but maybe it's the plug or something. I don't know. Anyways, dieting and this stuff that it's in this ad as well can cause problems later down the road, because you get into a system of eating, you get in a system of exercise, you get into a system of malnutrition, you get in a system of doing stuff, and all of a sudden your body has these changes. It doesn't like these changes, and it goes away. It doesn't like these changes, and it all of a sudden focuses itself to correct them, and it can be very bad correcting. It can be very bad to have your body do that. So again, I'm glad to see the ad. It's about dieting, and it's in our national newspaper here. But in a time like now, I don't think people should be changing the health of their bodies, changing the diet, changing their system, changing their way they do things, changing the way they act, changing the way they supplement themselves, changing the way they act and take in nutrients. I think right now it should remain the same because of what's going on with the virus, what's going on with the sickness, what's going on in the world today, not just here in America, but in America, yeah. I'm in America, so I talk about America. But the world is suffering this too. The world is suffering. We're all suffering the same thing. So we're kind of like one big world united right now because we're all suffering the same thing. We should be united, not fighting in the war, the Ukraine war against Russia. Russia's doing this, China's doing that, this one's doing this. The Ukraine or something, government's doing something. I don't understand any of it. I don't even care about any of it. It does not affect me. It does not affect the neighborhood I live in. Does not affect my family, doesn't affect my friends, doesn't affect my neighbors, unless my neighbors are in the military, which I don't think they are. Maybe they are. Maybe it would affect them indirectly like that, but not directly affecting them. So I really, up in the air and don't care. But it is happening. It's a world event. It's something that is going on. It's something that people are paying attention to for some reason. And I don't know why. So let's go up to the chat rooms here. cwlawrence01@gmail.com, www.brotherwade.com. 607-238-3816 is my phone number. And I'm going up in the chat rooms. I'm saying hi to everybody again. Let's name some of these things. The Atlas, Desiree, Derek, Gazelle, Zora, Jill, there's another one, Arthur here, up in Twitch, there's Stephen, there's Michael, There's another name, a bunch of letters I can't say. Something I can't say, I'm not going to say the name. There's a bunch of numbers and an old 2, and there's Y700 there. So there's people that are here. There's people that are hanging out. There's people that are there. It says that I have 16 viewers here, 10 viewers here, and my Facebook audience is dwindled down to 4. But at one time, I had 62 people in our room, which is great, which is wonderful, absolutely wonderful. The show is growing. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your family. Grow my show, www.brotherwade.com is our website. Now, it is dying down to the very end of our show. And at the very end of our show, we open up the phone lines. I've had the phone lines open. I have decided that we opened up the phone lines very early in the program. We opened up the phone lines a little early today because people tried calling in very early. But I'm going to open them up again, 607-238-3816. The phone lines are open. Do we have a caller? No, we don't. Okay. So I don't know. Maybe the phone's not working. Maybe something's terribly gone wrong. Maybe something's gone awry. The rye bread route. But I doubt it. I think just a lot of people are listening, and that's okay too. Listening to my program is good, and so forth and so on. If you are listening, then it is okay. It is good that you're listening. It's good that you're here. It's good that somebody is paying attention to my show and interacting with us and doing well. Now, I have a lot of people that have become fans. I have a lot of people that are following the program. I have a lot of people that are becoming friends, if so to speak. I think it's friends, following me, wanting me to follow them. And it's good. The show is growing. Tell your friends, tell your family. Like I just said, tell your friends, tell your family, and tell your neighbors. We can get a lot of people up here. But this show has gone on for a while, and we're going to have to bring it to an end. We're going to have to bring it to an end. At some point, we're going to have to bring it to an end. Now, I don't like bringing it to an end. I don't like ending the show. I don't like having the show go off, but we have to do it. We have to do these things. So it's coming to that point now. It's coming to the point where we have to focus and pay attention to what's going on. Now, nobody's called in. Nobody's really called in except for the beginning of the program. But anyways, we've listed a lot of news stuff. We had a lot of news. We talked about a lot of things. We talked about the weather. We talked about parks and recreations. We talked about some opinions. Some people, on the breaks, I've answered a lot of questions for people in our chat rooms, and I encourage you to go to YouNow. I encourage you to go to Twitch, YouTube, our Facebook, become a Facebook friend, join the Facebook group for my show, interact with us. I encourage all of this stuff, and it's good that you people are doing it. So, I'm going to look at the time, and I'm going to see what time it is here. Let's see what time it is, and let's see what we have. Because I think we're up at our 2-hour mark. I think we're going the 2 hours and 15-minute mark. And we are. We are doing that. So, with that being said, folks, the chat room's dwindling, myself dwindling, my tingliness, my sinuses are there, and I've been coughing. That's why there's been pauses throughout the show. I think we're going to call it a night tonight, folks. So I thank you all for coming. I thank you all for being a part of the program. CWLAWRENCE01 at gmail.com is my email. If you ever want to call us, I'll be a part of the program. 607-238-3816 is our phone number. And our website is www.brotherwade.com. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for tuning in this week, and I'll see you next time.